Hello and welcome to another video from Natasha Lee. Now, I've been seeing lots of Gallium everywhere and I have been desperate to get my hands on it and have a play and see if we can produce some Gallium nails because I'm a huge geek. Stay tuned to find out how it went. As always, I'm going to begin by filing and cleansing my nails with 99% isopropyl alcohol after performing cuticle work. And there's a link in the top right corner if you want to know the gel that I use on my nails. Now I'm going to go in with my peel off base coat and apply a nice even layer over the whole nail. And as you can see, I'm taking this very seriously. So I'm going to be using Gel 2 in Metallic, which is a gel polish, and some people have been asking me, what can you do if you apply gel over like an enhancement underneath? And this is what I do. I apply a gel polish so that I can peel it off later when I don't want to wear it anymore, but I don't want to damage my gel underneath. And clean up any mistakes using a brush dipped in acetone or nail polish remover. As you can see here, this is a lovely chisel brush from Dixie Girl. Then simply cure in your lamp and you're ready to go in with your second coat. Apply nice and evenly, remembering to cap any edges, and then once again cure in your lamp for the specified amount of time. Once that's cured, we're going to actually apply a foil adhesive to the nail. And this is the Edge Nail Effects foil adhesive. This one goes on quite blue, but it does dry completely and utterly clear. It's just so you can see where you've actually applied it, and it lets you know when it's fully dry. Apply carefully over the whole nail, covering all of the polish. If you do make any mistakes, just use your cleanup brush, again with acetone or nail polish remover, to remove any excess. And once it's dry, it'll be completely clear, and I'm going in with just a plain silver foil, but on the back I've wiped off the residue, and I did that just with some isopropyl alcohol on a pad. I'm applying it lightly onto the nail, and then I'm just going to grab a plastic back pad. You could use your finger, but I find this gives a better effect. And starting down the centre of the nail, I'm just going to rub and push onto the nail, and then start to work down each of the sides. I find this method tends to give the sort of most mirror finish without any creases or marks. I just like to go back in and dab a couple of times with the foil over the nail to make sure all the bits of the polish underneath are covered. And then we're going to go straight in with my no cleanse top coat, and because we're using gel polish, we don't have to worry about that foil cracking underneath, which is such a nice change from normal because I still have not been able to find the perfect top coat for natural normal nail polish to go over the top of foils. Now you could wait until the end, until after you've applied your Gallium, but I wanted to apply some of my Cuticle Oil now. I just made sure I didn't get any on the actual polish and just massaged it into the skin. And now it's time to play with the Gallium, which is the bit I can't wait for. So what is Gallium? Well, Gallium basically is an element, and it's called a post-transition metal. If you don't know what that means, it's best Googling it because I haven't got time to get into discussing about the different groups on the periodic table and what it means. But basically, it's really pretty. It's a metal that is liquid just above room temperature, above 29.76 degrees Celsius to be precise, and it's a lot of fun to play with. It also has been used an awful lot on YouTube recently to make your own fidget spinners. And because I'm a complete geek and I wanted an excuse on why I had to buy it, I decided to start something called Nailed It or Failed It, which is where I'm going to take the latest trends, whatever they may be, for example fidget spinners on the nails, wink wink, and then see if I can actually use those trends on my nails. So this week it's going to be Gallium. And in the meantime, I'm just playing with this an awful lot. Does this count as like ASMR? If I'm just like doing stuff with my nails and scraping metal and talking really soothingly? What I'm actually doing here is actually familiarising myself with the Gallium because I've never had any before. This bit was so much fun. Oh, do you know, if you could have had a bird's eye view of what was going on in my little studio at home, I was giggling and giggling and giggling. I just loved playing with this stuff. It is so tactile, as you can probably see here. So I just had a little play around and realised that it gets this weird surface tension on it. And if you sort of lightly scrape over the top with an orange wood stick, it takes it off. But it made me think, perhaps I can use that surface tension to get it to adhere to my nails. So before I did these nails, I did have a little play with some nail pops because I'll be honest, I was a little bit worried about the fact I wasn't sure if there was aluminium in my nail foil. And if you don't know, that gallium can actually react with the aluminium. It doesn't so much melt it, it affects the structure of the aluminium, makes it more brittle, but I didn't want to risk anything sort of affecting my nails. So I had been able to get the gallium to sort of adhere to my nails on the nail pops. And after having a play around, I'd realised that it does also stick to my hands and leave a sort of gorgeous metallic film. And I thought I must be able to get this to work on my fingernails too. The problem was I kept getting this icky surface tension thingy, and it kind of ruined the whole look really, to be honest. So I spent an awful lot of time actually trying to scrape it off. And after going through the effort of cleaning it up and putting it into this lovely little glass tea light holder, I realised that my fingernails were too long and the tea light holder was too narrow for me able to start working out how to cover my nails with gallium. So it was back to the drawing board again. So I decided to pop it into my hand and sort of roll my fingers through the gallium, which is what I'd done with the nail pops, and it worked. But I wasn't having quite as much success doing it this way with the fingers. But you know what? It was so much fun. There is a little bit there, just about. It just seems to get everywhere. Let's try the little finger. You know, it doesn't work on one finger. It's obviously the finger that's the problem, not the method. The world according to Ginger Dash. I was getting a bit frustrated at this point, so I decided to start playing with the gallium just because I could. And then I had a light bulb moment.
Light bulb.
I was getting the film on my hand because of my fingerprints, which obviously meant it needed some form of texture or roughness for the surface tension to grip onto. So I decided, let's rough up the nails. So I took quite an abrasive file because I knew that I had a couple of coats of gel polish so I could get away with it. And this is a 180-100. And you can see here as I've started to buff, they've actually gone quite dull, which is fine, that's what I want. So then I was trying to actually get that lovely mirror finish over the top, and it didn't want to do what I wanted it to do. So out came the orange wood stick. These things are brilliant for everything to do with nails. So once I had that lovely mirror shine, what did I decide to do? I decided to move the bit of paper I had it on, which of course made it move, which of course gave it more marks on the surface, which meant it no longer had that beautiful chrome finish I was after. I was not learning. But then I decided to grab a dropper, which I'd been using here and there to get bits of the gallium out the bottom of the bottle. But this is just basically a very cheap and easy pipette, which I picked up from eBay or Amazon, I can't remember which one. So I thought the best way to do it would be sort of dripping it over the nail, because I've got that tension there now. And it sort of worked. So I thought I need to just cover the rest of the bits that aren't covered. But then it sort of was weird and started filling up the film that I'd already put on there, a bit like a spot, and then it went like a boil and then exploded, and it was all a bit odd and a bit gross really, but it would not stay. And then the minute I tried to actually cover the bits that didn't have the effect on, it all dripped off. So I thought, use your brain, Nat, it reacts to temperature. So let's try and get it on the nail and solidify. So I froze some water in a bowl and then decided to try and apply the gallium to my nail whilst it was resting on a block of ice in a bowl of water, because obviously that's going to work, but it didn't. So then I tried getting a brush. This used to be a really nice gel brush, but obviously it's not anymore. I couldn't pick up the gallium. This stuff is so weird. It is so weird. I tried to paint it on. Nope, that's not happening. So back to the pipette and submersing my finger in the water in the hope that it was that cold that as it went out the pipette onto my nail, it would set, which it kind of did, but not on my nail, in these pretty little cold balls. Oh, that one looked like a fidget spinner until that blob. And then of course it was rock hard. Really strange. So for all of my hard work and all of my effort, I have to say very disappointingly, although I nailed the foil application, because obviously that one was nail based and quite easy, I completely and utterly failed trying to give myself gallium nails. But I had so much fun failing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. If there's something you want to see if I nailed it or failed it, then let me know down below in the comments. In the meantime, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications every time I upload. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.